Great. Well, it looks like it's about that time. So I'm going to jump on in and get started. Again, thank you everyone for joining us today. We have an exciting webinar planned for you. I'm seeing a lot of familiar faces and names and a lot of new ones as well. So that's super exciting. Before we jump into the topic, just want to cover a couple of housekeeping items. This session will be recorded and everyone will receive a copy within the next 48 hours. We also want to really encourage participation. So feel free to introduce yourselves, tell us where you're dialing in from in the chat functionality on your screen, and please send along those questions for us to answer as we go. And we'll definitely save time at the end. You can drop those into the Q&A function of the portal. Speaking of introductions, my name is Brita Hurley. I'm the VP of Product and Customer Marketing here at Spiff, and I am joined by Oksana, who is the Director of Product and who has a super engaging demo to take you through today. To start, at our core, Spiff really believes people are happiest when they're motivated and successful. And we know that trust is a major factor that plays into both the motivation side of things and also success. So whether that is trust in your team or trust in your math that may or may not be happening on the back of a napkin, trust in your paycheck, trust in your overall strategy even, Spiff really is obsessed with creating trust at organizations. And we do that by delivering a really familiar experience backed by a powerful commission engine, truly a new class of software. And we know that there are other amazing solutions out there, and they're doing some things really, really well. About 20% of organizations are utilizing compensation platforms that scale really well. However, they're just not easy to manage, which makes teams having to rely on costly and timely, slow, professional services teams. On the flip side, another 80% of organizations, are relying on spreadsheets or spreadsheet-like vendors. And while these are really easy to manage because people are familiar with this spreadsheet, they're difficult to scale. So as you're planning, the success of your organization and planning to add headcount, it's really difficult to manage these types of solutions. So this is where Spiff comes into play. We really do believe that we're building a new class of software that's both easy to manage and will scale with the success of your organization, which ultimately means less manual errors, less questions from your team, more automation, which is all fantastic time savings for you and your team, more confidence, and more trust, which is what we love here at Spiff. Not only can we help your teams, your operations team, your finance managers, but we really have won the hearts of sellers. So whether it's the ability to really drill down into those complex calculations, whether it is the ability to communicate with their manager or approvers, dispute something that they're seeing, or tracking, their commission on their mobile app when they're out and about and they're shopping and trying to decide if they can, upgrade to that bigger TV. We really are winning the hearts of sellers. And this also comes to the motivation factor. They can see in real time, their commissions and what they can expect in their upcoming paycheck. So I don't know who has seen these stats before, but they're really interesting on how much an unmotivated sales team actually costs an organization. So we've seen as high as 35%, rep turnover in B2B sales. Combine that with, about 190 days to replace that sales rep, and the cost is 1.5% to 2% their annual salary. So the cost to your organization, if your sellers are unmotivated, they don't have the transparency, they're not trusting the numbers, it can be extremely costly to your organization. Which transitions us to, how do we motivate sellers? And Doug Chung is a professor at the Harvard Business School in Boston. And he has done a lot of research on this topic of sales compensation. And one of his more interesting experiences was with a South Asian based company. And this really helped shape some of his thinking. So that specific company, there was a lot of issues around their compensation, a lot of complaining from their sellers. So they tried several experiments. And one of those was giving, the compensation before it was earned, and one towards the end. And really there was, no change in the seller behavior. And sales reps actually, worked harder for the chance to earn the reward after they did if they already had it in their pocket. So what if you could show your teams the reward before it was earned? And this is really where the Spiff commission estimator comes into play. And this is what Oksana will be walking you through and what we're so excited to bring to the market. With the commission estimator, your sellers are able to see data earlier in the process, which in turn really just shapes their behavior, both sellers and managers, and in turn drives more revenue. With that upfront look into what they potentially could make, it really just increases motivation and ultimately drives more revenue. And customers are already seeing success with this in terms of increasing contract length, because you can play around with this data and really see what it will do to your pocket. We've also seen a decrease in time spent on approvals, right? So less questions for you and your teams, less approval process is a win-win for everyone. So super excited to turn it over to Oksana to take us through a fantastic demo. As a reminder, please use that chat functionality, use the Q&A functionality in the portal, and we'll answer questions as we go and definitely at the end. Oksana, over to you.
Thank you, Britta. Thank you for the introduction, and thank you everyone for joining us today. Before I jump into Salesforce to show you what the commission estimator looks like, I want to give you just a quick background story on why here at Spiff Product we build the commission estimator. Yes, of course, we want our sales team to have a sizzle. So it could excite the customer, it could offer the customer what they have been asking for. But deep down, as a product manager, I always wanted to build a product that is used by my end user. And sometimes selling does not mean using. Well, this product is not only used by our customers who already are on it, it is highly sought after by our own team. Our own team was the one who provided the feedback, and every single detail on the estimator was based on the sales reps that are now in the field selling it. They wanted it. That's why, to me, it is the best product out there. Now, with our technology and our commission engine that is giving you near real-time calculation, this estimator produces the results within 3 seconds or less. And that is unbeatable on the market. Neither legacy vendor or spreadsheet can provide that level of responsiveness and visibility. All right, without further ado, I'm gonna jump into the screen sharing. And you will find yourself in a familiar territory. This is Salesforce. As a sales rep today, I'm gonna jump into a brand new opportunity and create a quick new business op that will close within my current pay period. So I'm operating on monthly payout, and it will be in December that I will close this wonderful opportunity. So Netflix is in almost final stage, and we are looking at about 12 months, and it's a brand new business. All right, with those details, I'm going to click on save and land up on the opportunity details. Now you can see in the right-hand corner, commission breakdown shows up. This is the custom package that was built by Spiff with the opportunity to connect your Spiff instance to Salesforce and give that estimate near real time as a sales rep configures the opportunity in Salesforce. So right now, the commission estimator is waiting for me to take action. And the way to activate it is to go ahead and add product. I am operating in the SaaS B2B, and I'm selling software. So today I will sell annual licenses and some data normalization services. Those are two items I'm going to add. I'm going to go enterprise scale and add 1,000 with 500 hours of data normalization expert. I'm also commissioned off the ARR. So my commission estimator now quickly goes to Spiff and gets the numbers. But right now, it all looks zero until I provide Spiff with the key number, which is my ARR. So my ARR is going to be the same amount as the annual total. Let's just play with numbers. They might not make sense, but it will give you an opportunity to see how quickly the commission estimator pick up the totals from Spiff, runs it through the logic that you have already set up, and that is available to your sales rep in Spiff. But now you can see it in Salesforce as well. So you have 4 Spiffs or payout rules that are paying this rep. The rep is paid on opportunity 2,000 straight if it's a brand new logo and the ARR exceeds 20,000. So it met our condition, and you can actually see that 2,000 came in. Now it also gives rep a kicker if the multi-year condition is met, and it's based on the total months that is on the opportunity. Services will get its own rate, and software will get its own rate. And depending on how much goes into those 2 line items that come from the product line item information, you will be able to see the difference. You also have a graph that represents where that sales rep in the journey of attaining the quota for this plan. On the configuration side, admin has a lever to set any target visual to be represented here in the commission estimator. So here you are looking at my annual quota, which is 450. I have 267 to achieve. And if I sell 225,000 worth of ARR, this is how much I will get the relief towards my quota. My current tier is 6, and as soon as I'm passing the milestones along the way, I will jump into the 9%. So now I'm looking as a sales rep, and I'm thinking, how do I optimize this op to get all of the kickers out of my plan? So I'm just going to go quickly and change my total months to 24 and see if it's going to do anything to my commission. Apparently it does. So it kicked off the multi-year and brought it up right in the commission estimator. Now I also can play with the discount. So as a sales rep, I would probably be coming to my manager and asking to help out and maybe start alleviating some pressure of the customer to pay the total amount. So I will start with a deep discount of 30%. And I will jump back to my opportunity to take a look at the estimator. The estimator right now is, and just to be sure, because we're working off 2 different screens, also it depends how you set up your Salesforce. The experience will change based on your current configuration. So right now, if I apply 30% discount on my software, I will be looking at this amount. So I might think about it, and it's 24 months. Okay, I might think about it, but my customer actually is looking at 12 months. And all I can give them, to be honest, is 15% without asking my manager for additional approval. So if I do the 15 and I go back, play with Estimator and see what is it going to be for me. All right, so 15%, 12 months. It doesn't look bad. But the customer will probably not going to accept it unless I go 30%. So jumping back and getting it to 30%, which will trigger the approval. I'm aware of that. So is it worth it? Is it not worth it? I'm going to take a look at it. Yeah, so not really. Maybe I can take a look at 24 months. And 15. And 24 months and 30. So those will be the scenarios that you will be coming back as a sales rep, back and forth, evaluating your kick on the commission and comparing. This is what exactly we see our sales rep are doing right now. And our managers are reacting very positively, because instead of doing the same math outside somewhere on the napkin or a spreadsheet, salesperson is actively engaged with an opportunity, running every single use case inside of Salesforce without getting distracted. There's also another functionality I want to show you. You can jump into the commission breakdown that gives you a visibility into the individual statement. So Melody right now could hop into Spiff right off the Salesforce, where she can see the plans that she's on, and she can see the breakdown for the opportunities that are contributing to her kickers. Some of them are even the plans that she can do the forecasting or what if estimation inside of the Spiff, if she wants to do it along the pipeline of the opportunities. All right, you might ask a question: how hard is it to get this estimator configured and start using it in your Salesforce instance? The implementation is pretty straightforward. The way that the estimation right now is configured in Spiff, you have two options. You can create specific rules that are targeting the estimate, where you can provide any logic you would like to, or you can go to your existing rules that you want your reps to estimate based, and turn on the visibility. Commission Estimator is the flag that you can find in your visibility corner. So pretty much any rule could serve as a logic to your commission estimator in Salesforce. From the Salesforce configuration perspective, it's all built on the standard Salesforce components, REST API, and the objects and the custom fields that you are using. So it should not take longer than a couple of calls with our consultant to get you guys up and running. Well, thank you. Britta, it's all to you.
Thank you, Oksana. That was great. And just a reminder, please continue to ask questions in the chat or in the Q&A functionality. One question did come in here from Matthew. Do we need to have CPQ to integrate? So saw the little Salesforce CPQ logo on your screen. Can you talk everyone through the answer to that question, and then also the process on the quote level?
Absolutely. So right now we do have support for two products in Salesforce. We do support the CPQ estimations, where our estimator is plugged into the CPQ package. So on the quote, you will see the estimator, and when you do the quote line editing or QLE, you will see the estimator option as well. We also have a support for opportunity or sales cloud, where someone who does not have CPQ could plug in the estimator right on the opportunity. So today you saw the estimator on the opportunity, not the CPQ. It just happened to be branded as my CPQ Salesforce instance.
Awesome. Thank you, Oksana. Another question here from Ryan, and maybe I'll give the short answer, and Oksana, you can give the technical answer. But do users need a Spiff license to see the estimate in Salesforce? And the answer is yes. So these users would be Spiff users who then also can see their estimated commission in Salesforce.
That's correct. And user has to be a sales rep in a Spiff instance and has to have at least one statement that has been generated for that user.
Great. Question here from Danielle. Hi, Danielle. Is there a thought about adding an estimator within Spiff itself? So maybe something like a roadmap question, Oksana. I don't know if you know the answer to that.
Yeah, so there is a active research that is done by our product team, and it's actually having similar functionality inside of Spiff statement on the what if rule basis. That will be the closest that I can think of when it comes to roadmap.
Awesome, thanks. Is this live today, or it'll be a feature rolled out in the future? This is live today. So definitely talk to your CSMs or your account executive who you're speaking with. This is an add-on functionality to the basic Spiff platform. So if you are a Spiff customer on the line, definitely reach out to your CSM and start having those conversations. Would love to work with you and your team and get you all up and running on this. Just kind of scrolling through the questions. There's a lot of good ones coming in. From Sydney, can managers see their direct reports' estimated commissions?
No. So right now, the way that it works, it's end user specific. So if your manager has a commission based on a particular opportunity that manager is looking at, the commission estimator will pick up who you are as a user and will give you the totals across the plans that you enrolled in. So if you're a manager and you are in the manager plan, you will show AE manager, and this is how much your kickback would be if this opportunity closes up. If this opportunity is a part of your team roll up, you will have the amount coming in as well. So it's a reflection of your own pay based on the opportunity conditions.
Great. And a question here from Andrew. Is the estimator looking at the op owner for the estimation?
The estimator will be looking at anything that you provide in your commission logic as the trigger. So if the opportunity comes in and your commission logic calls out for owner or a specific custom field, if you have a split setup, all of those data points are treated as triggers. So our logic will look at all of them and say, okay, met the trigger or triggered the event, we will release the payout amount. So it's very, very open to the customizations that you already probably have in your plans and Spiff.
Great. Some questions here around managers. So the first one is, how does this work for sales managers, or is this just for individual contributors?
It is for anyone who is commissionable. Whether you are a sales manager, CSM manager, or you are support that gets a commission based on some type of event in Salesforce that is tied to the opportunity. We can enable this commission estimator for anyone who is earning commission and has a statement in Spiff.
Awesome. Kayla, I see your question here, and if this doesn't answer it, we definitely can reach out and go over some specifics. But in short, can we do a multi-deal estimation, Oksana?
Multi-deal estimation probably would only work with the edition that we're thinking about, where we will have an opportunity to send multiple opportunities to estimate as a bundle. Right now, it's only one opportunity at a time. So you, as a rep, as a manager, you will see the impact on your commission one opportunity at a time. You can see if bundling the products and creating one opportunity using the product bundle might close the gap, but that will require customization on your side.
I am loving the participation, so this is fantastic. Keep them coming. Femi is asking, how do we get the installer for Salesforce? So I believe what he is asking is reach out to your CSM or talk with the AE that your organization is involved with, and they definitely can get you set up with this.
For Salesforce part, we are open to hopping on the calls with your Salesforce admins and walking through step-by-step configuration. We do have a pretty extensive manuals and instructions that our Salesforce admins have been using as is, and we have been seeing success.
Great. And one more question here. Matthew is wondering around security, and I think we touched upon this, but how does the commission estimator know the security settings on who can see the estimator on the op?
Commission estimator works with the user information that who is interacting with Salesforce. So when logged in as a sales rep user, when asking the estimator to get the data from Spiff, we're receiving the user requested ID, and we're returning the estimate for the user who's looking at the opportunity. So if I am logged in as a user, Melody, like I did, I am getting the estimator working for Melody. As soon as I switch to my administrator user, it will go back and tell me, oops, you don't have plans. So it treats my end user as the user to get the estimate for.
Great. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for your questions. This was really great. That concludes our webinar for today. Again, we'll be sending a recording of this within the next 48 hours right to your email. But thank you for joining us, and we look forward to having more conversations around Commission Estimator. Have a great day.
Thank you, everyone. Hope you enjoy our software.